Hiya!
Hello.
Welcome to Geeky Girls Knit and Cross Stitch. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl,
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles.
and we're glad to have you today. Today is Thursday, the 26th of March, 2020, and this is episode 389. We'd like to say a big welcome back. We love you guys, to all our returning viewers, and a big hiya to any new viewers. Thanks for giving us a shot. We hope you enjoy the show. This is day 57 gazillion of shelter in place.
Sure.
That's what it feels like. So, short talk about the pandemic, and then we'll move on to happy things. So, we're in Washington State. We're west. I always have to think because I can't. My brain does not compute the north, south, east, west well, and so I have to
News.
Yeah, I know. I have to do it. So we are west of Seattle, across the water. And on, was it Monday night?
Yeah.
Monday night, the governor of Washington issued a stay-at-home mandate.
I stitched Pink's hair into this.
Yeah, I do it all the time. And so we're home. Dammy and I were already home. The Dr. Hubs finally got approval to work from home, which has been a huge relief for me because of the population he works with. He had a really high risk of being exposed to the virus and then bring it home to me, who has chronic illnesses and asthma and immune issues and all of that. So it was very nerve-wracking and upsetting for me for him to have to go to work every day. So he's home. We're safe. We have the groceries we need. We can still go out and get groceries and food and go to medical appointments. Like Dammy had a doctor's appointment this morning. The Dr. Hubs took her. So things like that. But other than that, home. So that means Dammy's still been organizing a lot.
I have even more to do.
But you've also been crafting. And I've done a whole lot of crafting and watched a whole lot of TV because that's keeping my sanity right now. Also keeping my sanity. Well, I'll save that for yummies. So, we do have quite a bit to talk about. So, we should probably get started. Here we go.
And now we're going to talk about what's on her needles.
Well, this sock is actually not on the needles because it's finished. So, this is my, as named by Dammy, The Force is Strong with These Socks, aka Luke and Leia Sky Sockers.
It's so funny.
This is my French vanilla cappuccino sock pattern that you can get on Ravelry. If you want to use your time while you are stay at home, quarantine, whatever is going on for you, and learn how to knit socks, my French vanilla cappuccino sock pattern is the one that you want. It teaches you both toe up and cuff down, has photographs to show you how to measure your foot to get the perfect fit, all of that. Highly recommend. And not just because I designed it. So, these are on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Countess Ablaze Lady Persephone Sock in the Stardust colorway. So there's the first one. And look how busy I've been this week, Dammy. I am on the leg. I'm like halfway through the leg of the second sock.
Wow.
I know. And the reason, if you are new here, the reason that Dammy named these socks Star Wars names is because I stitched on the first one when we went to go see the new Star Wars movie back in December. Plus I have a little star progress keeper, and the colorway of the yarn is Stardust. So I will be finishing these probably by the weekend. I'm able to knit a little bit more every day after my injury a little while back, falling and hurting my arm and wrists. So, yeah, I am making progress on those. And that is the only thing I have been knitting on. But I finished something. So let's move on to the next segment, and I'll show you.
And now we're going to talk about her finished project.
Yes, this is my 12th finished preemie hat for the year. This is from my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can also get on Ravelry. It's on US 6's 4 mil needles, and the yarn is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes worsted, in the conch and green tea heather colorways. And I decided that since St. Patrick's Day was over, I would pick springy colors. Because, has spring started yet?
Yes.
Okay, because spring has started. So, there is another finished preemie hat. Once the pandemic and everything is over, I need to send another mailer full of preemie hats because my bag in there is getting pretty full. So I have this yarn cabinet, and I have one of those just like small paper bags like that sometimes you get at stores. Not like the big grocery bags, but the smaller ones. That I just, after we podcast every week, I throw it in the hat in there. And then once it gets full, I pack up a mailer. So I will do that. And after the pandemic is over. Okay, I don't think I have anything else to say about this hat. So let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for FlossTube. What are you stitching on, Dammy?
Still Madame Leota Tomb Sweet Tomb pattern by Witchy Stitcher. I finished a section at the top that says Tomb Sweet Tomb. And now I'm working on Madame Leota.
Can you hold it closer so they can see like the colors?
I did the ball outline. Now I'm doing her hair.
Very cool. You might get that finished in the next week or so. Depending on how much you work on it, because your classes don't start back till the 13th.
Yes, but I am hopefully working next week, I think.
Oh, okay.
Because, yeah, I'm going to email that.
Okay. Well. And do you know what you're going to work on next once you finish that?
Yes, I said it last week. Chippy Rapunzel.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. A lot has happened since last week, y'all. A lot. Okay. Well, let me show you what I am working on and what I finished. Because I finished something. So, the first thing that I am working on is my Christmas list by Silver Creek Samplers. And as I said I was going to last week, I got Old St. Nick done. So next up in the pattern is Peace and Goodwill with the dove. So, and that will put me at half up. Okay, Pink Pearl. No. Somebody's trying to scratch the couch instead of the scratching post that is sitting right next to the couch.
I told you she would do it. I thought she was going to jump. What did I do?
That's a no naughty. We don't want to get the water, do we? We spray her with water when she's in trouble.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm so cute. I cannot possibly be in trouble.
So, my goal for this week is to get Peace and Goodwill and the dove done.
Yeah, peace and goodwill.
Well, if somebody would behave. So, I'm going to try to get Peace and Goodwill and the dove done this next week. That dove is a lot of stitching, though. Do you see how much?
Oh.
Yeah, so I at least will get the words done. Peace and Goodwill, and then I will attempt to start on the dove. That will be my goal for the next week on that. So, there's that. But as I said, I have an FO because I finished It's Spring Fever by Blackbird Designs. So, the only thing that I changed was I used a different alphabet because I wanted to put my mom's, both of her initials in. And so I made this line right here a little bit longer so it would go up to the top of where the letter was. But I don't think you can really tell the difference, so it's not a big deal. My plan, again, once pandemic is over, is to take this into probably Joann's and find fabric and make this into a small pillow to send to my mom. So, I had a lot of fun doing the little Lazy Daisy stitches. Oops, they're on this side. Here we go. I had never done those before. So, that was a lot of fun. They got better. This was like when I first started them. They got better. So, but since I finished that.
Oh no.
What?
I did half a stitch.
Oh no. Since I finished that, I got to cast on a new, well, not cast on. What do you call it when you start a new project? I got to start a new project. So I am stitching. This is from Homespun Elegance. It's called Delivering the Coffee Beans, designed by Sandra Sullivan. Okay, so as you can see when I bought this pattern, I was just so excited about the sheep and the coffee that I didn't really pay attention to the rest of the pattern. And then I started looking at it, and I wasn't really happy with the fact that this border didn't go the whole way around, and it like cuts off weird right there. And so what I did was I charted a border to go all the way around. Because I was like, I want it to go all the way around. So I am working with Zweigart Even Weave 28 count fabric. And I just started this last night. And I am working on the border. So it's just this kind of...
It's so small and dainty.
Yeah, it's a very small pattern. It's only, well, as it's charted, it's 78 stitches by 53 stitches. So, it's a very small pattern. Because this is the entire T of the side. So, and I'm about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, this is upside down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to do this next little piece of the border here will be, the middle of it will be the halfway mark of the top. So it ends up being 89 by 58 with me changing the border. So, and I'm using, I think this is the very first time ever that I've used all the called for Fancy Floss colors. There are 3 DMC colors that are called for, but the rest of it is Fancy Floss. And I am super excited to work with, this is the color of the sheep. This is from the Gentle Art, but it's their Simply Wool line, and it's actual wool floss. The colorway is Portobello. And then here,
Mushroom.
this is, these are the Fancy Flosses.
I love the palette.
I know. So this is Cadet. These are Weeks Dye Works. That's Cadet. That's Cinnabar. That's what I'm working with right now. This is Confederate Gray. This is Kudzu.
Where does it say it?
Right there.
Kudzu.
Kudzu. That's washing it out. It's more like that, the green. And this is, oops, Oak. And then there's 3 DMC colors that are used. So I'm really excited about this, and I am having fun working on it. So I'm going to do the whole border first and then move on from there. And then I'm continuing to do the challenges in the Simi Sane Stitchers group on Facebook. I'm doing the background certificates.
Wow.
Somebody must be knocking on the door upstairs because the dogs upstairs just went nuts. I'm trying to think where I am on the background certificates. I'm over halfway through the whichever location I'm doing. I can't remember which one it is. And then for the Mapping Your Literary Journey, I'm on book 2, my second book, and I'm over 2/3 of the way through that book. So I'm making good progress. Okay, I think that's everything for this segment, but we do have some cross-stitch content in the next segment, so stay tuned. Let's move on to the next one. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, Yummies. What are yummies, Dammy?
Yummies are our current favorite things. Things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies. I was going to say earlier, I'm sure you've noticed the pigtails because it takes effort for me to put the stuff in my bangs and blow dry and all that. And I'm like, I am sitting at home. I'm not going to do it. So I'm sporting I have freshly washed hair, but I'm sporting pigtails. Dammy was like, are you really going to do that for a podcast? I was like, yes, I am. So let's talk to you about yummies. So a few weeks ago, I showed you the Ray Dunn mug that I bought when my stitching group was meeting, and it says,
I need my caffeine.
I need my caffeine. But there was a mug that I had seen on another FlossTube, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really want that. But it's a really rare one. And one of our podcast viewers contacted me and said, if I can find it, do you want me to get it for you? And I was like, yes, I'll pay you for it and everything. And she was like, no, if I can get it, why don't we just do a swap and you can get me cross-stitch stuff and I'll send you the mug. And I was like, that works for me. She got it. Tired as a mother. Fill in the blank. They should have put a blank right there. Because that would be really funny. I have not used this mug yet because I was like, I must show it to our lovely viewers before I use it. Because that's a rule that sometimes I break. But I didn't this time. I'm so excited. And I've gushed all over our lovely viewer. I didn't ask her if I could say who it was, so I'm not going to say, but yeah. So excited. Tired as a mother. I love it. I love it. I was doing the show notes earlier and was looking it up to see if it was on Amazon so I could link it in the show notes. Yeah, it's there, but it goes for like 5 or 6 times the original price.
Oh.
She did not pay that much for it. So, yes. Okay. I'm so excited about this. So I saw this fabric from Spoonflower and I was like, I want a bag. And so I contacted Anna from Stitch Toolbox. She's on Etsy. I'll put a link in the show notes. Actually, I already have. And I asked her if she'd be willing to make a bag for me. And she said yes. And so I sent her the fabric and then she found a coordinating fabric and made it. And it came like right after we recorded last week. So I haven't been able to use it either. Okay, it's Outlander inspired. Are you ready? To bed or to sleep? With Scottish thistles. This is the coordinating fabric that she did for me. It's green with white polka dots. But look at this zipper pull. Oh my gosh, it's stunning. I love this so much. And I can use it now because I've showed y'all. And she also sent me a
Watch out.
a bag, or not a bag,
A bag.
a tea bag. Lipton Herbal Tea Summer Fruits. And then she sent me this cute little pouch. Hi, Pinky.
You can come over here.
This cute little pouch. And inside it, are you walking all over my stuff?
Yes.
Is a needle threader. Do you need a needle threader?
I have one. She's going to be in the podcast.
Hi, baby. A little heart charm. And then there's this button. And then these 3 are the same, but there's a big one and 2 smaller ones.
A medium and a small one.
Oh, a medium and a small one.
They're different sizes.
Oh, they are. You're right. So it's hard to hold.
They're snowmen.
That's not snowman. So there's 3 different sizes. I'm like, okay, I need a project to put those on because they're so adorable. I am in love with this bag, and Anna did such a good job. So thank you so much, Anna. I've put a link in the show notes. I'm trying to put all these buttons back in this little pouch so I don't lose them. So, Anna has I looked in her shop a while ago because I was linking up in the show notes. And, she has lots of amazing bags in her shop right now. So, you should check it out. Love it. Scottish Thistle. To better sleep. And my new, delivering the coffee beans project is going in this bag. So just we're done here. Okay, Dammy, you got something in the post this week.
Yes. I bought stuff from Yuko of Honeyberry Studios because I wanted to send some snail mail. So I bought 6 cards and I've sent 2 of them off already.
That's okay. It's good.
The 2 that I sent off said be gentle with yourself and it's okay if the only thing you did today was breathe. So I got these cards. Every day is a new beginning. You matter. You are brave. You are doing the best you can with what you have. And a succulent to-do list, because I know I have part of one of her to-do lists somewhere, but even though I've completely rearranged my room, I cannot find it. I also cannot find a postcard that I want to send to my friend.
I'll show you, I got all of these stickers except for this one from her. So there's the cat with the flowers and the balloons. There's you matter, you are enough, a llama, and you are brave. Yuko has a lot of amazing stuff, and she is one of many artists, both in the fiber world as well as just in the arts and crafts world, whose a large portion of her income comes from doing shows, and all these shows have gotten canceled. So if you have any discretionary funds and are able to spend some money with artists like Yuko or yarn dyers or bag makers or pattern designers, my heart especially goes out to teachers who were supposed to teach like at fiber events, and they may not necessarily have a product that they can sell, and so they're losing income without really a way to earn it back right now. If your local knitting shop, local needlework shops, if you have any discretionary funds and would like to support people in our world that could use it, check out their stuff. That also goes for, I know that we're under a stay-at-home order right now, but restaurants are still open here, but only for pickup and delivery. I mean, if they decide to do it, but that's all they're allowed to do. There's not allowed to be any dine-in.
Oh no.
But these small businesses...
Support local businesses.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Support local businesses. Sometimes chains can hold out better than some of these family-owned or smaller businesses. So if you're able to support local businesses during this time, because this pandemic has a good chance of, destroying...
Wrecking the
economy and destroying some of these smaller businesses. So help if you can. I posted it on...
Anyway...
I posted it on social media earlier this week, but I got a beautiful rose gold craft cart.
You mean pink?
Rose gold is what it said when I ordered it. From Michael's. They were having... This was before the...
Michelle?
No, Michael's. This was before the stay-at-home order came through, but I got an email from Michael's saying they were having 60% off their craft carts, and I had been really wanting one, and they were doing curbside pickup. And so I ordered it, and the Dr. Hubs and Dammy went and picked it up. And then I put it together, and I'm in love. So I'll put if I haven't already, there's a picture on the screen now of my beautiful craft cart.
It's your GGK Crafty Pad photo. Just tell them to tune in for it.
It's my GGK Crafty Pad photo, too. Okay, and the thing I was going to say earlier in the introduction, something else I'm really grateful for right now is the web program Zoom. You can either download it on your computer, or it's an app on your phone or tablet. And my cross-stitching group, my mom's group, and my knitting group have still been meeting during all this just virtually. And it's been a lot of fun, and it's been a great way to stay in touch, but also being able just to have that community continue when we can't get together in person. So I know I have seen lots of posts about virtual groups. So if you have a local group, you might reach out and see if y'all can arrange to do a virtual one. Or, reach out to people that you see that are doing one and see if you can join in. So, yeah, I'm really grateful for that. So, today is the first day without one. Over this week, because I had my cross stitch group on Monday, my mom's group on Tuesday, and my knitting group last night. So, yeah.
You can Zoom me. I'll sit in my room. You can Zoom me.
Can Pink Pearl Zoom too?
Yeah.
Pink Pearl, you want to Zoom with Mama?
Your face is cut off. You need to get in frame.
You want to Zoom with Mama?
No.
Zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
I do get the zoomies, yes.
You do get zoomies, don't you? We have a sweet, sweet video of her after the credits this episode, so.
I don't remember what it's of.
And she was sleeping. She's snoring. Her allergies are acting up, and poor little thing is snoring, and it's so cute.
Remember, not just humans can snore.
That's right. Okay, do you have anything else for Yummies other than our normal stuff?
I'll talk about it in what we're watching.
Okay. Well, then let's talk about hashtag GGKCraftyPad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. We have a list of photo prompts for each month, so you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like, but we pick our favorites from Instagram. Holes are really hard to find on dark fabric.
They are. So the March list continues. Do you know what today's prompt is?
White.
Today's prompt is white, because March is color month. And we released the April prompts list, and it is numbers. Let me give you some ideas of numbers, because by the time next week's episode goes live, it will already be April. So each day is the number is the day. So on the 5th, the number's 5. On the 27th, the number's 27. So the real cheater-friendly way to do it is today's the 1st, and I did da-da-da, or this happened, or whatever. Mm-hmm. But you can also be creative and be like, I am 17 stitches away from finishing this sock, or only 17 more rows, or I need 5 more inches on this sweater, or, whatever.
Pink's tail is a foot long. I don't know how long her tail is.
So you can be you can be as creative as you want with the numbers. We're very cheater friendly on that.
I have 15 cats.
No, you don't. You have one. One cat.
I'm saying a hypothetical viewer has 15 cats.
I don't think that is legal in our area to have that many pets. But you could have maybe you're maybe you're a farmer and you have 15 sheep.
Maybe you're a farmer and you have 15 barn cats.
There you go. That could be. Okay, Dammy, what are we about to show them?
We had 2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. Great job! Yay! It's never too late to join in. You take a look at the prompt for the day. What did you say today was?
White.
White. You interpret that however you want. We're very cheater friendly, as I said before. You take your picture, you post it on Instagram. Make sure in your caption you use hashtag GGKCraftyPad, because that's how we find your photo. If you have a private account on Instagram, you need to make sure that Dammy's Doodles, that's in the show notes, is following you. because otherwise we can't see your photos. So send her a message and she'll follow you, and then we'll be able to see your photos. And yours might get chosen. So, okay, we have a couple of upcoming events that as of, well, I didn't check on this one. Let's see if there's, as of right now, they are still both scheduled to happen.
Oh, that's a cute banner.
I know it is on their website. So the two events are the Pacific Northwest Yarn Crawl, which happens the 30th of April through the 3rd of May. Their website is pnwyarncrawl.com. That's the site that Dammy was just saying there was the cute banner on. There's, oh wait, I have the card.
And show them.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, that's not the banner.
No. There's 9 shops plus a pop-up shop. So we'll see. As far as this moment when we're recording, it's still scheduled to happen. The other event, and I did get an email this week that this is still scheduled as of right now because it's far enough out, but we'll see if anything changes. It is the Grazing Hills Fiber Fest in Viola, Idaho. It's on Saturday and Sunday, the 11th and 12th of July. Their website is ghfiberfest.com. I'm going to be teaching a continental knitting class on Saturday the 11th of July from 10 a.m. to noon, and you can sign up for the class on their website. All right, Dammy, I think that is everything for Yummies, so let's move on to the next segment.
Now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
I feel like I need to sit like this so that
Yeah, so we can see her little baby face.
So, Dammy, what have you been reading?
Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, and The Glass Scientists, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katungo. Oh, you dropped a paw. Put your paw down.
They can't see it. Oh, hello. Pink Paul, do you know you want a podcast? You the podcat? Oh, you're going to take a nap.
She's the paw cat.
So I assume you've been getting 15 minutes a day in?
Been trying. Sometimes you just want to take a nap, you know?
Sometimes. But what am I referring to?
The January, February, March Ravel. Read along.
That's right. So this is a challenge for you to read 15 minutes a day, every day. I don't care what you're reading, as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. Now, Dammy, by the time next week's episode goes live, it's going to be April.
Oh, no.
Which means we're going to be at the end of the first seasonal RAL. So I will be closing the January, February, March thread in our Ravelry group the morning of April the 1st. So you need to make...
And that's no joke.
That is no joke. No fooling. So you need to make sure that you have posted all of your days for January, February, March in the finish line thread. Instructions on how to do that are in that thread. You post one time and then you edit the post. And then I will open up the April, May, June finish line thread as well on the morning of the 1st of April. Mm-hmm. So, but then in addition, the year-long challenge continues. And you earn entries into that by participating in the seasonal challenges. And at the first podcast of 2021, we will award 3 grand prize winners. So there are some ways to earn bonus entries, including the Modern Mrs. Darcy 2020 Reading Challenge. All the details about the RAL are in our Ravelry group and on our website.
GeekyGirlsKnit.com.
That's right. Okay, let me tell you what I have been reading. I am continuing to read the 5th book in the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Dammy's having catastrophes. You need to get the thread magic out of my bag to try.
I'll do that later.
So I am rereading this along with Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. And this week's chapter was... Luna Lovegood. So we get to meet Luna for the first time. I love her. She's so quirky and fun and interesting and just comfortable in her own skin, and I just love her. So that was a chapter for this week. I finished reading last night. I finished reading Permission Granted, Be Who You Were Made to Be and Let Go of the Rest by Melissa Kamara Wilkins. Very, very good book. In fact, I took a photo of a couple of pages because there was stuff that I wanted to I wanted to be able to go back and read it again because it's a library book. Well, and right now our library is closed, so I can't go turn it in because they even closed the drop boxes. So once the library reopens, I will return it. But highly recommend it. I really, really enjoyed it. I am reading the J.P. Beaumont series by J.A. Jance. I finished reading books 21 and 22. I think I only have one more book and I'll be caught up.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So this is a police detective series that is set in Seattle. So I finished reading book 3 of the Detective Harriet Blue series by James Patterson and Candace Fox. This is a detective series set in Australia. And I am on the hold list for book 4. Of course, nothing is happening with that because it's a physical book. They don't have the digital copy of it, and the library's closed. Mm-hmm. So, I finished reading books 46 and 47, and I'm reading book 48 of the In Death series by J.D. Robb, which is are you sensing the theme here? A police procedural detective series set in the future, set about maybe 30 to 40 years in the future. So, but I think I only have one more book in the series too once I finish reading this one. In fact, I was watching this morning Lady Robin's FlossTube, ROBYNS, and she is actually a librarian. And one of her jobs she was talking about in her FlossTube that I was watching, one of her jobs is to answer requests that come in from patrons that say, you know, I've been reading this, I really enjoyed this, can you recommend something else? And so I commented on her FlossTube, and I said, hey, I'm finishing this series, or I'm really close to being finished with this series. Can you recommend anything? And I'm looking for the message so that I can tell you what she said. Oh, I'm in the wrong email account. I was like, why is it not showing up? No momento. There we go. I said, can you recommend another? I said, I'm almost done reading the In Death series by J.D. Robb. Can you recommend another series that's similar? And she said to try Lisa Gardner's D.D. Warren series. The first book is Alone, and I was able to check that out on the Libby app through our library, so I have that one to read. She also suggested Allison Brennan's Lucy Kincaid series. The first book in that one is Love Me to Death, and they don't have that digitally in our library, but I did put a hold request on the physical copy of that. And she said, if those don't work, ask me for more suggestions. Happy to help. And so I really appreciated that because I do really enjoy, detective series to read them. So I thought that was a really fun job. But, part of her job that she has is to recommend this is what I like, what else would I like? Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to try those series. And then I am listening to book 5 in the Charlie Davidson series by Dorinda Jones. And it is a private detective type series, except for the main character is the Grim Reaper. It does have adult content, as does the In Death series. The other two, some, not as much from what I'm remembering, but definitely In Death and Charlie Davidson do have adult content. Okay, let's talk about watching. As I said, I have been watching a lot of TV. I watched the entirety of season 1 of October Faction because I'm just not in this headspace right now for Hallmark movies. Mm-hmm. I have a bunch to watch. But I don't know. I'm just not in that headspace right now. So, I watched all of October Faction, which is a series on Netflix. And it is...
This one is rated MA.
It is rated MA.
Just so you know. Jysk. Jysk. And
it is about a family of monster hunters, except for the kids don't know that the parents are monster hunters. I am also watching season 1 of Lock and Key, Locke, and Key, which is another Netflix series. I'm about 2/3 of the way through the series. And this is about a family who the father is killed and they move into his family home, but there are these magical keys that do different things, and there's a lot of mystery behind it. I think it's rated TV 14. So, yeah. And then we've been watching The Good Place. We finished season 3 and we're watching season 4, and I think we have 3 episodes left, and that last episode is like a double the length as normal. So I think we only have 3 episodes left of the show. But we're really enjoying that. I am not normally really a comedy person. It has to be something special. So like Frasier I loved, Cheers, Friends, Big Bang Theory. Oh, I love Frasier.
Maybe when you guys go like...
When we finish Good Place, we could rewatch Frasier.
Yeah.
Daddy loves, Dr. Hubbs loves Frasier.
And scrambled eggs.
Again.
Again. Don't use your needles as microphones.
No.
That's dangerous.
I don't know what to do with the tossed salad and scrambled eggs. They're calling again. That's a really good idea. We should ask Daddy about that.
We can watch on Hulu.
Is it all on Hulu?
I think so. Because I went through my recommendations for my account and then haven't been back in. And one of them was Frasier. So I would assume it's all on there.
Okay, we'll check. But yeah. Hulu. We got a subscription to Hulu with our cell phone service.
Thanks.
Thank you. Company that we're not going to name.
We're not sponsored.
No, we're not. If you want to sponsor us, we'll be happy to name you.
Sponsor us and we'll say who you are. You know who you are.
That's right. Okay, watching season 6 of The Flash. Watching season 6 of SCHITT' Creek. We're nearing the end of that one. This is the final season. I think there's only maybe like 4 or 5 episodes left. So, I'm sad because I really do enjoy that show. I'm watching Stumptown season 1. I have last night's episode actually to watch after we finish with all the podcast stuff. I finished watching season 1 and I'm watching as it airs season 3 of The Masked Singer. I have last night's episode to watch as well today. I already knew who had won season 1, but I didn't know who he was. Is that bad? It's not my style of music, so I had no clue who he was.
Do you wish the Peacock would have won? Because he was like the second.
I do. I felt like the Peacock was better.
Be a man.
Mm-hmm. If you don't want to know who it is, go away. Even though we've already given you spoiler warnings, and this aired. This is the 3rd season. This was season 1. So Donny Osmond was the Peacock, and I felt like he did a better job.
Be a man.
And then who was in 3rd place was
Glenda? No. I can see
your face.
Just Google the Bee Masked Singer.
I feel really silly because I know who this is, and her name is just totally out of my head right now.
Did you miss last night's episode? Gladys
Knight.
Glinda. I was kind of close.
You were close. Yeah.
Glinda.
Gladys Knight. But I didn't feel like in the final episode that she did as well. I felt like it should have been Donny Osmond in first, and then, what's his name? T-Pain in second, and Gladys Knight in third. So.
What are you doing?
Getting a knot in your thread. That's what you're doing. Okay. Star Trek Picard Season 1.
Picard.
Spot 2.
Oh, it's not real cause. Shut up. Shut up.
The Dr. Hubs was like, and I was like, no, it's Spot 2. Oh my gosh, it's the reincarnation of Data's cat. I mean, not really, but you know what I mean. But we have the season 1 finale to watch tonight.
Okay. How many sings can Brent Spiner play
Within
the course of his
there is,
lifetime?
like, I saw an article that some people think that this new sing is actually, Lore? Lore. I was like, wait, is that the right name? Lore, who was Data's evil brother.
Evil twin to the max.
It could be. We will see. Okay, I'm watching season 3 of The Sinner. The finale of that comes on tomorrow. Or today. Wait, what day is it? Tomorrow. So I got that. No, it comes on tonight. So I'll watch it tomorrow. Season 7 of The Blacklist picked back up. Yes, picked back up. So watching that. Watching season 11 of NCIS LA. Season 6 of NCIS New Orleans. Season 1 of my new favorite show, Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Max professed his love to Zoe using a flash mob.
Bad idea.
I had to actually, like, rewind it and watch the flash mob twice.
Oh.
Because it was so sweet. But she didn't realize it was a flash mob until, like, he started talking back to her. She was, like, making these comments. And he started talking back to her, and she was like, wait, you can talk to me? And he was like, what? He's in love with her. I'm watching season 5 of Supergirl, watching season 7 of When Call Falls to the Heart. Will Elizabeth choose Nathan or Lucas?
Ooh. Doesn't she have a baby?
She does have a baby.
Where does the baby go when she's teaching?
She's got a teenage girl that comes and takes care of the baby. I can't think what her name is right now, but I can see her face. But she takes care of the baby. Season 5 of Outlander this week was Jacinda's wedding. Season 1 of Prodigal Son.
Jacinda.
Jocasta.
Who is Jacinda? That's a name. But who is Jacinda?
I don't know, Jocasta. Oh my gosh. Back up there. Pretend I didn't say that. I'm so bad with names, y'all. Jocasta's wedding. Oh my goodness. I haven't rewatched it. I usually watch it twice. Jocasta's wedding. I feel really silly now.
Jacinda is a name.
Jacinda is a name. I don't know who Jacinda is.
I don't know. Maybe Jacinda is the name of the actress.
Let's see. I don't think it is. But I will look. Jocasta is her name.
She's watching Prodigal Son, season 1.
I think I already said that, but yes.
Watching Supernatural, the final season, season 15. Jared and Jensen's wives in the same episode for the first time.
No, Jocasta's real name is Maria Doyle Kennedy.
I don't know.
I don't know who Jacinda is. If anybody knows who Jacinda is, tell me, because apparently I think it's somebody. Yes. So Jared and Jensen's wives have both been in other episodes, but they've never been in the same episode together. And we had Dean and
What was the thing with the hipster?
They were from another
universe.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Yeah. So it was funny. Because, yeah, it was funny. And then NCIS season 17, listening to my favorite murder.
Oh, wait, I have something I'm watching.
You didn't put it in the show notes, I'm sorry.
No, you're gonna lose your mind about it.
Oh dear, what am I losing my mind about?
So, Don Finnemore, comedian and writer and actor of Cabin Pressure, has been uploading videos to his YouTube account called Cabin Fever, under the pretense that Arthur Shappy, who he played in Cabin Pressure, is stuck in the granny flat attached to his mom's house because he and Douglas and Herc have to be social distancing. So it's just him, but he's uploaded 3 episodes. They're like 2 minutes each, and they're all called Fittin' because he can't leave Fittin'. And he asks people to comment on various things for each episode, so...
Oh my god.
And then he'll read some of the comments.
Why have you not told me about this?
I just wanted to see the look of joy on your face and have it recorded for all time.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna cry.
So yeah, I listen to Cabin Pressure all the time, and I have notifications on for his channel because he used to upload something called Sunday Papers with his flatmate that were really funny. And I just haven't turned them off, and so I'm glad I kept them on because now I get cabin fever. And so I don't know how long he'll be uploading them, but they're very nice.
So they're on his YouTube?
Yes.
That is getting watched before anything else.
Yes, Arthur is uploading them to his friend John's YouTube.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's getting watched before anything else. As soon as we're done recording, that's getting watched. So is he like uploading a new one every day?
Every 2-3 days.
Okay. I'm going to have to like turn on, you know what, I should turn on the subscription on my phone, on the YouTubes. Oh my gosh. Oh, I cannot believe it.
Thanks, he's her Bubba.
How do you spell Finnemore?
Finnemore.
There he is. John Finnemore. Cabin Fever. Subscribe. Oh my gosh.
And then the bell icon. All.
Oh my gosh. So the first one is 6 minutes, 15 seconds. Second one is 6:40. And the third one that just came out today is 7:49. Oh my gosh. See? Right there. Oops. My phone is like, there we go.
He's a very wonderful man, and I love him.
Oh my god. Is he singing? Does he sing in the one with the piano?
I'm not gonna say.
Are we done recording?
No.
I'm listening to my favorite murder podcast.
Oh my god.
People get murdered.
Oh my gosh.
I was listening to this, and then Dr. Hubbs comes in, and
He's like, I'm gonna be a hobo.
the second case they were talking about was about this a hobo serial killer. And they also discussed...
Was the serial killer a hobo or killing hobos?
Both. They talked about where the term hobo came from, and that it's not a derogatory, but they're also called train riders.
Train riders.
But anyway, the Dr. Hubbs walked in, and he's like, I want to be a hobo. And I was like, these hobos are getting murdered. He's like, okay, never mind.
Excellent.
Okay, I'm also listening to my CC's Faves playlist on Spotify, and I also saw on Instagram this week that Norah Jones has a new album coming out.
Ooh.
So that will be getting added to my Faves playlist. And if you want to listen to my Faves playlist, you can go to the show notes.
GeekyGirlsNet.com.
And it's there.
I also made a playlist. I'm sorry, this is another thing to add to the show notes. I have no more after this. I sort of copied it from a playlist that Broadway World made, but I took a couple songs out and added a bunch more in, called Songs of Resilience.
Do you see that I'm crying?
Oh my god.
I'm so excited.
Songs
Songs of Resilience. Yes.
So if you want to listen to that, you can go to my Resist highlight on my Instagram or go to our show notes.
I will put that in the show notes after I watch Cabin Fever. We got interrupted because we use the Dr. Hubbs iPad to record the podcast, and
it's connected through his iCloud, so we got a call,
a spam call. Don't these people have better things to do? Don't they know that we are in a shelter in place mandate order?
I don't think that's how that works. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, are we done with the podcast now?
No.
Oh dear. Okay, well we better hurry up because I want to go watch Cabin Fever. Let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our March, April, May Sheepy Spring Owl.
Bah.
So this runs through the 1st of March through the 31st of May. And it's for any project that you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to spring. If you can't think of anything, you made it in the spring. There are a couple main rules for this owl. The first is that no whips are allowed. Project has to have been begun no earlier than the 1st of March and then finished no later than the 31st of May. Also, each project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin needs to be at least 20 yards. If your project is not at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single post together with other projects that together total at least 20 yards. For stitching and sewing, we leave it up to your best judgment. You can feel free to polydip in other owls as long as it fits in with other rules. That's totally fine. We've got lots of lovely prizes on our screen right now. Thank you so much to our donors. If you are interested in donating a prize, you can PM Java Pearl on Ravelry, email us at geekygirlsnet@gmail.com. And for closer up looks at the prizes or see where they came from, you can tune into the first podcast every month or go to our show notes, geekygirlsnet.com.
Yes.
You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry in order to participate. There's a hashtag. If you want to tag your projects or post on social media, it's GGKCSSpring20.
I don't know if you kicked it or if I did.
I did. Sorry.
Because you were so frustrated about the hashtag.
There's the FO thread will be locked on the morning of the 1st of June, and any winners. There might not be any winners.
No, all winners.
Winners will be notified.
Tammy, you're so cabin fevered.
The FO thread will be locked on the morning of the 1st of June, and winners will be drawn for the next podcast after that. There's a chatter thread on Ravelry.
If you're a winner,
You have 30 days to claim the prize, or you forfeit it.
cabin fevered.
There's a chatter thread on Ravelry where you can chatter, and
about your project or ask questions or anything like that.
it's where my brain just broke. It broke trying to order your thing. I was like, salted, cold foam, cream, and she was like, the cold brew with salted cold foam. See, I can't get it out.
Salted cream, cold foam, cold brew. They stopped at the drive-thru on their way back from Dammy's doctor's appointment. And I'm in love with the salted cream, cold foam, cold brew. Not the one with honey. The one with caramel's okay. It's just really, really sweet. Salted cream, cold foam, cold brew. And in the chatter thread, Dammy recognizes people who finish projects in the last week. But she also does that here on the podcast, which is what she's going to do right now. So the following people finish project or projects this week. Who are they, Dammy?
A. Bingham, I Knit Socks Too, Jodidiah, Knit Girl Wagner, Knitter Chow, Lil Angel SG2, Lil Mermaid, Meditative Crafter, Mystery Sewer, Restrauss, Silver Luna 2112, and Travel Socks.
Great job. Keep working on those projects. You have a little over 2 months to get your projects done and posted, and you might be a winner. Let's move on to the next segment.
And now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
That's right. What is this week's question, Dammy?
So this week's question was originally asked and answered in 2014. Eileen, who is leaner from Ohio. Yes, Eileen, who is leaner from Ohio, asked, I noticed that you have tattoos, but can never get a good look at them. Please share what they say.
I have 4 tattoos, and they're all on my forearms. So I'm going to show them to you in the order that I got them. Okay, first up is Grace. Oh, gosh, it's hard to show. Grace, which is on my right wrist. Second is Shalom. Actually, it goes this way. Shalom. Third is this dandelion. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 birds. And they signify Dammy and our 3 babes that are that we lost to miscarriage, and a sweet little girl who lived with us that we were fostering to adopt. And then there was complications. So the 5 birds represent my 5 babes, my 5 wee babes. And then, gosh, I don't know how I'm going to show this. This one is actually a quote from Gilmore Girls, and it says, "It doesn't matter what I'm knitting. I'm just knitting to knit." But then if you turn knit upside down, it says purl. I don't know if I will get any more tattoos because my forearms are filled up. I don't really, at this point, want any tattoos on my upper arms. I've thought about getting one on one of my feet. But we'll see. You have no tattoos.
No.
If you were to get a tattoo, what would it be and where would it be? Do you know? No pressure here.
I have a Pinterest board of tattoo ideas, and they're all like really minimalistic. I don't know. I've seen ones that are like one line outlines of sleeping cats, and those are kind of cute.
Oh, that's another tattoo that I thought about. I actually saw this tattoo while I was. It's not in that album.
Whose baby is that?
While I was. Where is it at? I saved it. I know I saved it. There we go. I was doing a craft show for a friend, and this woman came up to the booth, and she had this tattoo on her arm, and I fell in love with it. I was like, can I take a picture? So it's a heartbeat with a cat, and you can't really tell in the picture, but this cat, because her cat had one yellow eye and one blue eye, and so that's what they did there. But I kind of like that. That might be cool to get like on a foot or ankle. I interrupted your tattoo.
I don't have any more ideas beyond that.
Just a minimal.
Yeah.
Something minimal. I didn't get my first tattoo until young 30s. Because I got my nose pierced first, right? And I did that for my 30th. So, and then I got the dandelion with the birds and the knitting one while we were in Scotland. So, those are my tattoos. So, thank you for the question, Eileen. Even though you asked it 6 years ago, it's still a good question because people may not know. Do you have any tattoos? If so, what are they and where are they? And if not, if you were to get a tattoo, what would it be and where would you get it? Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
Or also, if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to post it in the YouTube comments and I'll copy and paste it over there so we keep them in order. There has not yet been a question we have not been willing to answer. So feel free to ask anything and we will do our best to answer it. Okay, I think we're ready to move on to the next segment. We made it to the end of the show. Cabin fever, cabin fever.
Okay.
I'm excited. So, a reminder, we have a coupon code at Threads Entwined for 15% off until the end of May 2020. The coupon code is all lowercase, Geeky15, Geeky15. There's a link in the show notes to the shop, and thanks so much to Trish for giving us that coupon code. Okay. I don't think there's no other announcements than that, right? So, we'd like to say a humongous thank you to everyone who supports the podcast. We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching and commenting and participating and all the things. But a huge thank you especially to those of you who support us financially, because it does cost money to do a podcast. There are 3 main ways you can support us financially. The first is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount of money a month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on the level you donate at. Now, as we have mentioned over the last little bit, we did have discussion and we have made changes to our Patreon rewards. We got rid of 2 levels that we had no donors at. And we made some changes to the rest because we wanted to also include our viewers who are cross stitchers and not knitters or crocheters or weavers or spinners. And so some of the changes that we have made are, for example, to the $5 a month level. Every 9 months you will get your choice of a Ravelry pattern or a cross stitch pattern that is valued at $7 or less. At the $10 level, every 9 months you'll get your choice of either 100 grams of yarn or 4 skeins of fancy floss. At the $10 level, you also now get a monthly 1-hour virtual knitting/stitching group with us via Zoom. And at the $15 level, you will also get a weekly vlog from us, except for during Vlogmas, which I do in December, where I vlog every day, and any other months that we do a daily vlog on YouTube. There are other rewards if you go to
patreon.com/geekygirlsknit.
You can sign up, and you can also see the levels. We have 5 levels you can donate at. $1 a month, $2 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, or $15 a month. And thank you so much to the donors who have been with us for quite some time. We're very appreciative of your support, and thank you for continuing to support the podcast. Because without y'all, we wouldn't be able to do the podcast. So, Dammy, what's another way that people can donate?
There's a PayPal button on the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
And we are amazon.com, .co.uk, and .ca affiliates. If you go to our website and look either in the sidebar or at the bottom of the show notes, there are images and links to your appropriate Amazon. You choose your Amazon, you click on the link, you do your shopping as normal, and then we earn a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you'd be doing anyway. So, Dammy, why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsnet.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online: YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
That's right. Well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. Have a great rest of your week. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourself. Make sure that you are drinking enough water. Make sure you are eating some healthy foods. We're eating some not healthy foods. Dammy's been doing baking, and it's amazing. But make sure you're getting some healthy foods in. Make sure you're getting enough rest. Make sure that you are connecting with other people, whether it's via a phone call or an email, a text, FaceTime, virtual groups, whatever it is. Just make sure you're taking care of yourself. And, and make sure that you're doing some crafting, because that is one of the things that's keeping me sane right now. So, until next time, happy crafting, and we'll talk to you again next time. Bye.